Dude. My God, why? Why hast thou forsaken me? Into thy hands I commend my spirit. Tired, weary men in the garden. We came to Gethsemane with Jesus, but he wanted to be alone. So he went on ahead and instructed us to stay behind and pray. I tried, but I was exhausted and the prayer just wouldn't come. I just wanted to rest. But Jesus asked us to pray. He needed us to pray. But instead, we fell asleep. And when Jesus came back and found us lying there asleep on the ground, he looked at us with tears in his eyes. And he said, "Go ahead and sleep. Have your rest. But look, the time has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners." It was unthinkable that any of us could betray him. We loved him, and he loved us. I told Jesus that I would never desert him. I would never deny him. And I meant every word. 3 times I denied him. I swore I wouldn't, but I did. But Jesus was arrested, and I was so afraid. We all just ran and left him there. But this was Jesus, and I loved him. So I slipped into the shadows, and I followed behind at a distance, and I watched as they took him to the high council, where they mocked him. They spit on him. They beat him. And as I watched this horror, a servant girl saw me and said that she recognized me as one of those with Jesus. And I answered, "No, you don't know what you're talking about." I pulled my robe around me and I moved away. Then someone else pointed at me and said, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." Instantly I replied, "I don't even know this man." And I pulled my robe around me and just moved away. Finally, the 3rd time, someone approached me and said that I spoke like a Galilean, so I must be one of those with Jesus. And before I knew it, the words were out of my mouth. "I swear by God, I do not know this man." And then I heard it. A rooster crow. 3 hours, the sun was hidden and the sky was black. From the 6th hour to the 9th hour, darkness came over all the land. They crucified Jesus. They drove nails into his hands and his feet. They run a spear into his side. His body was broken. His blood was spilled. But ridicule was not enough. Torture was not enough. His pain and his suffering was not enough. Only by his death could my sins be forgiven. The ultimate sacrifice was given. The ultimate price was paid. And then it was over. Jesus was dead. 3 days he was in the ground. Day 1 was the most horrible day of my life. I watched as they took his body and they buried it in a borrowed tomb. Then they sealed the tomb with a boulder and posted Roman soldiers there to guard it. It all seemed so final. All of my hopes were gone. All the things he promised, gone. I was devastated. I was numb. And day 2 was just as bleak. Slowly the numbness gave way to grief and despair. And on top of that, I was crushed beneath the weight of my own guilt and shame, because in the end I had let him down. I had denied even knowing him. And that pain was greater than I could bear, and it just was not going away. Day 3, I awoke with the same grief and pain as the day before. The same hopeless sorrow, the same fear, but yes, something was different. I felt an unexplainable sense of expectation. Like waiting for something to happen. But waiting for what? Maybe today would be the day that Roman soldiers would knock the doors down and drag us all away. But when we heard a knock at the door, it wasn't soldiers. It was Mary. And she had been to the tomb, and the stone was rolled away. John and I ran to the tomb, and we found it just like Mary had said. No guards, no stone, no body. 3 times I denied him, yet Jesus still loves me.